Okay. So it is Monday. And we're going to be doing the things and stuff. I've had to change the stream start time to 2 p.m. I mean, I know it's only 1, but we might as well get started now, so we have a little bit more time to work on some things. Alrighty. So hope everybody's doing okay today. So for those that are new here, we are following along with Bob Ross tutorials of his season 3 Joy of Painting. We've done the first 4 so far. This is the 5th one that we're working on. It's called Distant Hills. We do sort of follow the tutorial. We don't follow it to a T because sometimes we can't, because we are following it with needle felting instead of paint. So sometimes we have to get a little creative to get there in the end, and just do it a little bit differently sometimes. But you know, we're working on it. We're trying to get there, and this is where we are so far. We have about 10 minutes left in the tutorial. It won't be 10 minutes to finish it, that's for sure. So we still have to do this monstrosity over here. Right now we're working on this mess over here. And I don't know what happened. For some reason this middle section like bowed out on the edges instead of staying in line with the top, or maybe the top got pulled in. I don't know what happened. I really don't. We'll try to see if we can straighten it up a little bit when we trim the sides down. I don't know, man. I don't know. So, you know, yesterday when we left off, we were working over here, putting in our little island of trees. Just trying to get some wispiness happening here, just to see if we can, what we can do with this section, because on his, he's got some lighter bits of the yellow ochre kind of coming up into here. Now we have followed along with a few of his tutorials with paint. We hadn't touched season 3 before, so at all. So I was kind of like, well, you know, what the heck. Let's give this a go. I've never seen anybody follow any of his tutorials with needle felting, and probably because they take a while to do or nobody's thought of it. I mean, if somebody has, I just haven't seen it. I would love to see other people's takes on it. Because I'm just kind of fumbling my way through stuff. To be perfectly honest. We're just kind of pretending we know what we're doing around here. Ah! Let go. The fluff doesn't want to let go. Alright. So we had our yearly spring cleaning pickup today. Some dude actually did come back and get the broken dryer that they said they were gonna take yesterday, but they either came back at like 2 o'clock in the morning or 3 o'clock in the morning and got it, or got it at like 6 a.m. this morning, because they certainly didn't come back before like 10 o'clock last night and get it. I don't know if they forgot to last night or what happened, but somebody took it. I'm not even sure if it was the same guy. So I know we already kind of put this base coat, if you will, of this color down, but he's got a bit of it kinda coming up in between the trees. Sorry, I think I did this wrong. I almost just had a moment of, oh fuck. I think, yeah, I did do it wrong. We've got some foggy cloudiness up into here, and then it's another row of tree, and then it's the yellow. Oh, right. Okay, well, we can still fix that. Dang it. Dang it. Sorry. Not a huge problem. Not really. This one has definitely been a challenge here. That's for certain. I mean, I might just keep going with a combination of the mustard color and this white color in through here. Just kind of have both of them a little bit. Just kind of see how that does us here. I mean, I know I've got it kind of thin and see-through. I might have to thicken that up just a little. At least thicken it up a little bit higher. See what we got going on here. All right. So then we're gonna have like another little bit of treeage. And it doesn't have to be exact to his, so don't don't think it has to be. It's kind of how you're interpreting the tutorial and what you're seeing and what you prefer. Like Bob always says. Now, granted, this way, this method, we're not beating the devil out of a brush. We kind of brush the devil out of the yarn, I guess, when we're prepping it, if you want to look at it that way. But we don't actually, because I prep all my colors ahead of time. So that way I'm not stopping and doing the fluff as I go. It's a little bit faster if I have it already brushed out, because I'm using acrylic yarn for the most part. I mean, this one had a little bit of roving in it because I had the color and I was trying to use it up. So that's really all that was about, but and I'm using a, I think it's wool or felt felting mat. Might be a felt felting mat. So sometimes it likes to attach itself a little too much to the mat. So I do pop that up periodically. Right, hold on, before I do that one, I just want to do a little bit of our mustardy yellow ochre color here in the bottom sections. And you know, we'll see what things look like as we go. I'm not expecting this one to be anything too spectacular. But, you know, we'll see what we can do. We'll see, we'll see. I know it's going to look a little weird at the moment. It's kind of hard to convey mist with this, kind of. I mean, we could have maybe tried to do the river color, but then it might have looked kind of weird with the two colors being right there in different spots. So we'll just kind of go along with this at the moment. Alright, so that section got a little bit thicker than I was anticipating, but I think we're okay. I don't think it'll be too much of an issue there. Or at least I'm not expecting it to be. And we'll work on getting this guy. I just want to kind of bring that down a little bit. I just don't... Hey, Zorts, how goes it? Just don't want that sticking up all by itself there. How are you today? Just woke up? Yeah. I woke up earlier than I necessarily wanted to, but I woke up early but late enough where I wasn't sure I was going to be able to fall back asleep quickly. And then I was afraid if I did fall back asleep, I wouldn't wake up till like 3. And then I was like, that could be a problem today since I have to stop around 4:30 since I'm now making dinner for my mom so that she eats something hot that's substantial for dinner. Because she was falling into I can't be bothered cooking and I'm just gonna eat toast all the time. And I've seen what that does because Russell does that periodically, but Russell's also aware of what he's doing and can't help it sometimes. But she was just like, no, I'm fine. And we're like, no, you're not. I mean, you know, toast for breakfast, you know, whatever. But not when that's all you're eating all day. So she's gonna help us a little bit more with groceries in the end, and then I'll just be cooking joint dinner. Most of the time. So we had to adjust the stream schedule a little bit. We're gonna try to start streams at 2. And we'll see what happens with that. But I've been waking up early anyway lately. So, oh, you still need to go through the freezer and get her that list of stuff, husband. We have some stuff in the freezer that we won't eat that my mom mostly cooked for my dad that she really didn't like. And we're gonna see if our neighbor wants them, because I hate to throw food out, and the pantry in town doesn't have a refrigerator or freezer, so you can't really drop off meat or anything to donate to somebody kind of situation. So I want to see if somebody wants it. So that way it doesn't go to waste. Kind of thing. But we'll see what happens with that. Alright, so this is kind of just like a foggy, misty section in between the trees, and we're going to do like another layer of treeage in here, and then there might be one more final layer of treeage there at the very bottom. We'll see how that goes. So according to the bank, they still haven't gotten the paperwork we sent to get them to lift the effing hold on my mom's debit card. So we're really limited on what money can be spent. Even though she's saying that account was just her, because they did have a joint account there, they put a hold on it, and now they want like an effing affidavit proving that she's who she says she is. She's talked to they know her. It's a small town bank. It might as well be a credit union for as well as they know the people that work there.
I point out, you forged credit at a casino, so you know how some rules have to be followed.
Yeah, I know. It's just a fucking pain in the ass, because normally when you call another bank and you, like, fucked up on your PIN number, you're like, no, that was me. You can get them to release the hold after you answer some security questions. They're not doing that this time. They're like, no, we need a notarized affidavit, or some kind of letter or something stating that, you know, someone else is verifying your person and whatnot. And I'm just like, okay. And we mailed it last Monday, along with something else that went to someone else, both going to New Jersey. The other person that had something mailed to them in New Jersey got their thing on Saturday. So my mom's hoping that they're going to get it today, since nobody was around to accept the mail at the bank on Saturday. It's just a fucking pain in the ass. And there's one of my dad's creditors that we have no idea how he talked to a person, unless my mom is mistaken and he didn't actually talk to a person with this particular company. Because we've tried everything to talk to a human being. Their automated system has an option to talk to someone, but when you hit it, it just takes you to another automated system and doesn't give you an option to talk to someone. And when you hit 0 to try to get an operator, it rings 3 times and disconnects you. So I don't know what the fuck is going on. They're their own bank, so I don't think it's anything that got caught up with that Silicon Valley nonsense. It's its own bank credit agency. So I don't know what the fuck's going on. At least the government was like, no, let the people get their money out, and we're going to make sure that they get the money that they had deposited, that they were entitled to, because it was their money. Because people were posting on Twitter on Saturday that had deposits scheduled from Etsy on Saturday. That they're like, your deposit's been delayed, and apparently Etsy was using Silicon Valley Bank or something, and I'm just like, oh shit. I was like, oh, I'm glad I closed the Etsy shop. Not that we were making that much money out of the Etsy shop, but I was like, oh no. I know some people make bank on Etsy, so I was like, oh shit. That sucks. But it looks like they're gonna make sure at least people get the money that they had coming to them and that was theirs that they deposited. It's like, wow. Just wow. And so how do you, I gotta ask a question. How do you guys throw away a broken trash can? I gotta know. How do you get the trash people to understand that the trash can itself, the receptacle, the bucket itself, the container, is in fact trash? Because we had a broken trash can. I think the wheels were smashed on it, or there might have been a crack in the side or something too. I don't know. It was gross and decrepit, and we're like, yeah, this is... We ended up getting a new one. Okay. And we had been holding on to this for a while, and we finally had our spring cleaning because we didn't do one last year. So we put it up with all of our spring cleaning stuff. And spring cleaning here means you get one free pickup of anything that's not considered a hazardous material, for the most part. And they'll take it, you know, whatever, and they don't charge you. Like large bulky items are just a lot of trash and stuff. So we put this decrepit, broken ass trash can up there, and we also had some other stuff in it. They took the stuff out of it and gave us the can back. And I'm like, I knew we should have put a sign on that says, take this trash can, it is broken. But they gave it back. What the hell am I supposed to do with this? Like, guys, someone has had to have disposed of a trash can that's no longer functioning. That's the only thing you can think of, is leave a sign on it. Yeah, okay. Like, I had the thought last night, and I'm like, Russell's gonna think I'm stupid. But I was like, it becomes like the trash can meme, where you're trying to throw the trash can out, and they won't take the trash can. And it's like, why? Take the fucking trash can. So I guess we're gonna hold on to this sucker for another year, or take it to the dump ourselves. I don't know. Don't know. Don't know what to do with this thing. It's crazy. Alright, so I'm just trying to get some, like, misty cloud separation thingies in here between the back layer and the front layer. I'm still not sure how I'm gonna frame this, because I was like, well, we could trim the sides and do the thing at the top and the bottom. Now I'm kind of leaning towards attaching it to a piece of foam board. And then, like, getting some dowels to cut down and paint, like, sticks. And do, like, a rustic frame. Or maybe we just paint them white. And make, like, our own little frame. Oh, dude, I should be sending your stuff out this week. Twitch finally decided to pay me. So, with luck, that should be going out. So, get that sent out. Because they're just sitting here staring at me, mocking me, and I'm like, you guys need to go. You need to go to your destination. You don't need to sit here staring at me. And the mother-in-law and her sister have left now. And then we found out that my aunt's diet was going so well with the two of them not at her house. Or not my aunt. Russell's aunt. Aunt-in-law. One of the aunts. Not my aunt. Russell's aunt. The aunt who they were leaving the RV at. Parking it there. Sorry. Tired brain. Misspeaks a lot. She's like, oh, my diet's going so well. With her other two sisters not there. So now it looks like when they come back, they're going to be coming back here, because that aunt's like, no, I need to lose weight. You two can't come back. So I'm like, great, wonderful. All of the chaos ever. Yay. And now the outside cat that was coming around, Nom Noms, he's pissed off because of my Russell's aunt's big black dog that they had with them. Like, before he would be like meowy and want attention from us, and now he's just like meow, 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 feed me, meow, meow, meow. And he's not too keen on us getting too close to him. So we don't know if something happened. But if he wants food, he needs to kind of calm down with the attitude there. But he's been rather pissy lately. And he was going somewhere because there was a couple of days in a row where we weren't seeing him. Because he was that mad about the dog. Because even though I kept telling them, please put the dog on the leash, please put the dog on the lead, they were still letting the dog out in the yard without being attached to anything. I'm like, you guys, there's school kids that cut through our backyard. Like, and there's two big dogs across the street. There's people that walk by all of the time. That dog finds something more interesting than you, she isn't gonna listen. And then a couple times she wasn't listening. I'm like, people around here don't give a fuck. If they think a dog's coming at them, they're gonna shoot it. And I know that's terrible to say, but there's a lot of people that have weapons around here, so let's not. And we don't want anybody freaking out. I don't think the dog would actually attack anybody. I think it just wants pets. But she does look very intimidating because of how big she is. I think she might have been Rottweiler, but I'm not certain. It might have been a Rottweiler mix. And then they're like, oh, well, she's blind and that why. And I'm like, all the more reason to have her on a frickin' lead or something if you're sitting out here with her. This is a very busy road in the front yard. And a pretty busy side street. A couple of times the mother-in-law brought the dog up without a leash. Just holding her collar. I'm like, can we not? Why is this a thing? They kept saying, oh, well, she won't go potty on the leash. I'm like, if she has to go, she will eventually. Like, that's just because you don't want to walk around with her. That's not what we're doing. Your dog. Do the thing. And we didn't have the dog pen anymore, even though it would have been too small for
That would have been way too small
for her anyway. She would have just laid there. I mean, she wouldn't have been able to get up and turn in a circle and stuff, but alright, so we're gonna work on our next row of tree here. Really hard to convey mist with this, but we'll see what we can do. We will see. Oh, we need our scissors. Some description here. Now my tree line is going to look kind of different. Just be forewarned here. Probably not drastically different, but still a little different. Okay. I know it's hard to see when I'm doing those guys there with my arm in the way. Alright, let's see what we can do here with this guy. Alright, so again, we're gonna do this line of tree. Now, this line of trees might look a little small. Kind of. But again, I'm gonna have like some more misty dews. Coming in here. You can kind of see our river coming out a bit. Just a bitty bit. It's like I want to leave a little bit of room down at the bottom here so we can get our next bit of misty guys in. And get the last couple of trees in that I want. I don't really have a darker, like an even darker gray. So we're just gonna have to make do with this guy. And like the bottom edge of this doesn't matter so much. I mean, it matters a little bit, but not hugely. I'd love to know where this cut came from on my hand. I have no idea. Not sure if that was a cat, dog, or me doing something. I can't for the life of me think of what I would have touched that would have done that. Like, at all. Sorry, I'm hearing something faint, and it was just odd enough that it was catching my attention. And at first I thought it kind of sounded almost like faint, really bad music. Is Cal howling?
Huh?
Is Cal meowing?
I heard my mind snoring.
Is that what that noise is?
Yeah. I think.
Because I can't say it's Cal snoring because he's not in here. He's in the other room. Because she's getting some time out from the other room for a little bit early today. Okay. I didn't know she snored like that. Alright, well that's one mystery solved. I'm like, what the hell is that noise? Alright, so how'd everybody's weekend go? Everybody have a decent one at least? Whatever you did? Hopefully. Alright, we haven't popped this guy up for a minute, so do a quick brush down on that. And my lumpy pad, I tried to sit on it for a little bit, but I didn't sit on it long enough, so it's still kind of popping up there. It never lasts for long when I try to reflatten it. I tried to use the other side, but the other side's all like sunk in. That doesn't really work so well. Not really. Man, winter came back with a vengeance. Not like with snow or anything, but the temperatures, man. Like, what the heck? It got into the 20s last night. Or at least to freezing. When I got up, it was about 10:30. And, it said, feels like 38, or no, it said 38 with a feels like of 32, and I'm like, ugh, why? I think it's supposed to be down in the, around freezing tonight, I think. Then Thursday, they're saying we could have thunderstorms. Wonderful. They didn't say anything about them being severe, so I guess we'll see what happens with that. But it said a high of like 63, low of 32. And I'm like, really? And then Friday night, like the low was like 26. And I'm like, for fuck's sake. Can we pick one, please? Like, I know it's March, and March is usually a little weird, but I have seeds to plant, damn it. I want to plant the things. We got some like sagey, bluish tinted, you know, I guess it's more of like a sage color, ornamental grass that I want in the one planter box, and we got some dwarf pink petunias to put in our front box because they'll be short. Because we tried doing like a wildflower mix that we had gotten from Dollar Tree, and it did sprout stuff. It's not like it was bullshit flower mix. It did do flowers, except they were really tall flowers. So when they were growing up to get to their height to bloom, it kind of looked like weeds coming out of the box, and the weed like let it overgrow, and I'm like, no, those are actually supposed to be flowers. So those are like probably better suited for ground level planting, instead of in a raised up waist high planter box. So I was like, yeah, that doesn't really look nice. And we got something else. Oh, I got, I'm gonna get this wrong, I think clematis. The green leaves with like the pink and white veins running through them, I think that's what it was. I got some more of those seeds to try again with that for a different planter box. And you know, the morning glories that won't go away. Them things are tenacious. We'd planted them a couple of times along with some moonflowers, which were nice because they bloomed at night. It was a nice change of pace. I actually got to see some flowers open at the times of day I was awake. But the moonflowers didn't come back, but man, these morning glories, they are taking no prisoners. And they're just like, nope, I'm back. And Russell got some herbs to plant for the hermit crabs, although technically we probably could have planted those inside. I don't think those herbs were toxic to cats. I don't know where we're going to plant those. We might plant those in the lamppost planter box we have. Or try to. And we still have the elephant ear bulbs. We'll see if they survive the winter because we didn't bring them in this time. We'll have to see. We did an experiment. They didn't really grow very well last summer because of the drought, and we were kind of tight on cash, so we didn't run up the water bill watering them. But we'll see what happens this year. I have to clean out all the weird things that were growing in their buckets. Like all the weedy things. I need to resituate the flamingo family that I have outside, but I can't do that until I get the seeds planted. At least we managed to get the front porch cleaned up a bit with the spring cleaning. We managed to finally remember to get rid of some of the stuff that was up there that needed to be gone. So all we have to do is just kind of clean up out there and rearrange things. Still need to put Thompson's water seal down. Although at this point I don't know if there's a point to it because it's been a few years. I don't know. It could potentially do something, but it's so hard because we're coming in and out with the dogs. And then my mom's coming in and out to smoke. I mean, I guess technically she could smoke in the house now that we don't have to worry about my dad's oxygen thingy, but I'd just rather it be outside. Because cats are assholes and would probably dump an ashtray and get into it. And Cal would probably be stealing the cigarette butts out of the ashtray, to be perfectly honest. Yeah, you can totally see that happening.
I can see that happening.
So, you know, he already drops Q-tips down the drain in the sink. So we have to be really careful about where we throw them out because he'll dig them out of the trash. And I really don't want him deciding to do that with cigarette butts, because those won't probably ever dissolve. So it's probably better that she just does that outside. We were debating getting my mom a chicken. I don't know if we really want to do that though, because then we have to deal with constant chicken chores. Because this is the time of year to get them, because they've got the chicks at Tractor Supply, or they're about to. I don't know. We don't have the area set up for it. And them bastards are quite a bit of work. And we would definitely have to critter-proof an area. So I really don't know if I want to get that involved with a chicken. I don't know the first thing about taking care of a chicken. Guinea pigs, I can do that. Fish, I know enough to get by. Speaking of, hi Valentino. Valentino needs a water change today, and we need to scrape some of the algae. I'm gonna have to switch this filter. I mean, it's not a bad filter, but I think it suctions a little too low, because the algae's going crazy in there. I really need to get a shrimp. Russell doesn't want to get a snail. I'm actually surprised that the plants we got didn't have snails on them. Because I've gotten, like, they weren't from the pet store tank, they were from, like, the plastic tubes of aquatic plants. And even though they say snail free on them, there's been times where they've come with snails. And we're like, where the fuck did the snails come from? It said it was snail free, and we're like, for fuck's sake. But these ones actually did not seem to have any. I've not seen any in there. So I need to figure out, we're gonna switch to a sponge filter soon. I just have to wait till I get the spare cash. But spare cash won't be happening until insurance money shows up. And I have no idea how long that's gonna take. So in the meantime, we've gotta just kinda figure it the fuck out. Yeah, that's not looking too bad. get our little tree shape here. I don't know, we'll see what happens. I kind of want to do a couple of painting sessions at some point. I don't know if I'm gonna wait to pop back into the painting until we're done this series. I really need to finish my paint by number. I just haven't had the chance to get back to it. I feel bad about that, but not a whole lot I can do. There's only so many hours in the day and so much energy to go around. Still waiting on the Coral Island March update. They still haven't given a date for that just yet. So I'm thinking it probably won't be till like later in the month. Probably towards the end of the month. Or, you know, there's a chance it could get pushed back to April. It's possible. I mean, bummer if it does, but, you know, if it does, it does. That can't really be helped. So husband did a session on our Duo Zoo Saturday night. I need to find a day to do mine. I might do Saturday afternoon. And then he can do his Saturday evening. I haven't added it to the schedule yet because I'm not sure yet, excuse me, if that's feasible. I'm not doing stuff for Lita anymore, so I don't have the time anymore. I don't have the energy. Because it was a lot of stuff. And I'm not even playing WoW right now, so this X pack kind of really killed it for me with the dragon riding. I mean, I'd been kind of teetering on the fence for a while anyway, but I can't do the dragon riding, and it's not like I'm bad at it. I can't do it. Like, I physically can't watch my screen and do the dragon riding because it's triggering migraines for me. I've tried every option, and I even looked at the newer options. There was a video of the new accessibility options they put on it. I can't do it because the thing that's bothering me is the thing that they're not touching. So I can't handle the swirl on the nose going in one direction and the rushing wind coming off the wings going in the other. And I think it's more the swirl on the nose, because the swirl on the gates, I guess the auto flight gates that they would take your mount through, coming in and out of Ouroboros, almost got me. And that was tough enough. I had it glitch during beta for BFA, and on one of my characters that I had been doing a bunch of testing on for Lita, and it just glitched and kept spinning in a circle, and there was like a faint dust cloud with it, with like debris in the background. And even when I was in Darlaran, it like would not go away, and I'm like, oh, you fucking kidding me? And that gave me a migraine, and I was like, oh god. So it seems to be like the swirly visual effects do not do me any favors whatsoever. But that's kind of why when I flew somewhere I stayed put. And if I did have to travel back and forth, I was like, it was an auto flight, so I could look away. It wasn't a big deal. But this thing on the dragon riding, you can't look away because you have to look where you're going, and I'm just like, this is not it for me. I mean, you know, wonderful. If you enjoy it and love it, great. I'm happy for you. Really, I am. I'm glad someone's enjoying it. I just can't do it. So my WoW sub is lapsed. Lapsed to this month. It should have lapsed by now. So yeah, so I have some more time on Saturday at the moment. I don't know if I'm gonna have to go back to work yet, or try to go back to work, which is probably gonna be ugly in itself with my migraines. We'll see what happens with that. But we won't know that until maybe May. And we are still waiting to hear back from disability for Russell, so I don't know. If they turn him down again, I probably will be going back for a while. But we'll see. What happens there. Because we touched base with the lawyer I think 2 weeks ago, and they're like, yeah, we're just waiting to hear back from them on what they want next. So it's like, right. So we don't know. This has just gone on forever because we thought we were on the appeal the first time, and no, they just started us over from the beginning when we got the lawyer, and I'm like, why? You denied it here for missing documentation. We got the lawyer, we got you all the documentation, and then you're like, oh, this is your first denial. Now you can appeal it. And we're like, what? We thought this was the appeal. So they kind of like fucked us over paperwork that we never got the request for. I don't know. Something happened paperwork wise. So that's fun. Probably just should have had the lawyer from the beginning. Alright, so get this in here. Now I know my tree line looks a bit different than Bob's, but you know, that's okay. It's all good. All good. Like, I'm like chasing my project. my mat is sliding forward, or I slid it forward, didn't realize. One of the houses that we walk by occasionally, if we do manage to get a walk in that day, we don't go this way very often, but they've got a German Shepherd that's kind of fluffy. So it might be a German Shepherd mix. I'm not entirely sure. It's very fluffy for a German Shepherd. They've got a short for the size of the dog, chain link fence around their yard. And the one day we were walking by, the dog was just standing there staring at us. Quiet statue-esque. Sorry, I heard another weird noise. Quiet statuesque, just staring there. Standing. And I'm like, oh, okay. And so we started talking to it, and we got about like 5 feet along the length of the property across the street, not like right up near the fence. And then he decided that he hated us and came at us. Didn't jump the fence or anything, but I was like, ooh, okay, doggo, that's fine, you don't have to talk to us. We're going. And we walked past that same house the other night again, except we came from a different direction, so we didn't even notice the dog was out. That motherfucker scared the living shit out of me. We were walking up, and we were about halfway along the side of the property, and all of a sudden I saw this like black shadow out of the corner of my eye, because I was walking. Russell was in between me and like the outer edge of the property. I saw this black shadow shoot like along a fence line, and all of a sudden went rah, 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 and I was like, oh my god. Russell jumped, I jumped. Oh, I nearly jumped out of my skin. I was like, oh my god. Doggo, must you? You've seen us walk by before. We're not trying to get into your property. Like, holy hell. That was terrifying. Because it's not like we heard him barking as we were walking up. It was deathly silent. Didn't even think he was out. Didn't even really think about him, really, until I saw something running. And I was like, oh, fuck, the dog. Like, I thought he was going to jump the fence. Because he could totally jump that fence. It is not a very tall fence. I'm like, okay, you stay in there. You stay in there, and we'll be friends. We'll get along just fine. Okay, so this is the big twist yarn. This color. Gonna have to refill my yarn bags by the time we're done this. Maybe not the yellow ochre. Might not have to fill that one, or the mustardy color. But white we'll have to refill. Gray we might have to refill. The pinks we probably will, because I think we need pink for one of the ones coming up. Maybe. Oh, I forgot. I still have to paint. I have to paint a room. Ugh. I don't know when that's gonna happen though. Probably not till summer. When we can have windows open for airflow and stuff, or at least late spring. And I'm probably gonna have to get a drop cloth. Probably just get a cheap ass plastic one. Alright. So we'll get this row of trees put in. What time is it? 2. Okay. Let's get this row of trees in. And then there's a little bit more mist on this row. Like up in here, it's going to be a little bit more yellow, but there is a little bit. So make sure that we don't snap the end of the needle in the microphone again. I did find it. That thing flew quite a distance. Quite a distance. So one of the things that we had bought for my dad, we found out we can't return it. He never used it, but I guess it can't be returned because of the item it is. And so now we're out like 100 and some bucks. I'm like, great. So I don't know if we're just gonna keep it in case we need it, or if we're gonna donate it. We might just end up keeping it. I don't know where we're gonna store it, because we don't have a frame. Our bed's not on a bed frame. Our box spring just sits on the floor. With the way the flooring is in our room, we were afraid of the feet of a bed frame would put divots in the floor that wouldn't come out, because it's some kind of weird, like, I don't really, it's not linoleum. It's not like kitchen floor linoleum. It's weird. It's kind of like the cheap-ass Pergo wannabes, where it's kind of like a vinyl sticker almost on top of like wood that snaps into place, kinda. And the sticker wood grain has rubbed off and peeled up in some places. So we were afraid that like the feet of a bed frame would gouge it. So we can't really stick it under our bed. And I think the box is too thick to put under my mom's bed. We might need to try to clean out underneath the mother-in-law's bed and see if we can store it under there, maybe. What I wouldn't give for like walk-in closet storage room. It'd be fantastic. fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. All right. Now, let's see about getting you in here. I started to make my trees crooked again. Like when I was in school, they taught us cursive writing by like turning your paper. And now I'm like in the habit of turning my paper no matter what I do. And I think that's why shit looks so crooked on me half the time. Because I don't even realize I'm doing it. Until the end. And I'm like, why the fuck is this all crooked? So Russell's gonna get me the copy of his VOD on the zoo from Saturday night, and I'll get that up on the joint playlist on the YouTube channel. Soon. It shouldn't take me that long to edit. I think I just need to stick a title card or something on there in Krita or in Adobe. I think I have the one saved from the last one we did that with. I don't know. I don't know if I have to change the episode number on it, so I might have to make a new one. I can't remember what I did for his last VOD that we added to it. That came from his channel. It's like so stiff in here and not quite as stiff up here because of all the fiber layers. Oh yeah, we definitely have to trim that bad boy up. That's okay though. You know, I have clay. I could just custom make a frame for this guy. That could be an option. I think the clay's still good. And then I'm using something that I have. I didn't want to completely lose all my mist here. I lost a little bit of it. Yeah, so this section got a little exaggerated. But I am gonna fill in over that just because I don't know what's gonna get covered and what's not, and what's gonna potentially get trimmed and what's not. Let's do this way. Momo, stop licking, buddy. Gonna get a hot spot. Hotspot season is approaching. Actually, with these two, hotspot season seems to be year-round. We have to keep that tea tree oil on hand. The hotspot spray. Okay, so we got that. Sorry, just stretching. Just stretching. Okay, so our next row of fluff here. I have no idea where the husband wandered off to. This guy kind of brought up along bottom edge in here. Oh, he might be foraging. Where'd you go?
Oh, I got in the shower.
Oh. I just realized you've been missing for a while.
Yeah, sorry.
Didn't know if something was wrong.
No,
Alright.
Let me know before you start dinner. I may end up asking for penne. We'll see what happens.
I mean, if you want penne, it's not a big deal.
I might. We'll see how I'm doing.
Alright. I'll just take out, what do you think? 2 containers of sauce? 3?
Probably 2.
Okay.
We'll just make sure they're 2 good ones.
Okay. I mean, all the ones that are in there looked pretty full right now, but I'm gonna make little mini half-assed chicken parm tenderloin thingies for dinner. I don't have any breadcrumbs, so we're gonna do it unbreaded. That's why we need to stop about 4:30. So my mom's not eating too late. I gotta get used to eating dinner early because now I'm like starving by like 9 o'clock and I'm like, 1 second dinner. That was lunch. Alright. Because I'm used to eating later. But now I'm also up sooner, so. Alright, so we're just getting a little bit more of our yellow kind of brought up into the bottom of the trees. I'm not looking to like completely block out the bottoms. I just kind of want that brought up a little bit into and around the base of the trees here. to get a little bit more like our ground cover showing through. I mean, we might not have needed to do this base coat on here, but I think it just made things a little bit easier, because then I could let this one be a little bit more airy coming in and whatnot, and not have to worry about our base color shining on through there. Oh. I do think I need to switch over shirts though. This one's getting a little warm. So I think I'm gonna do that here real quick. So just give me 1 minute. I'll be right back. You've PvP'd your bed. Did you win? No, you PvP'd your bed. Look at all those blankets. You look very proud that you PvP'd your bed. Yeah. Happy. Are you happy, pupper? Oh, you got such a messy face. Oh, such a messy face. Oh, it doesn't seem very comfy. I'll fix it later. Alright? What? Fix it later. Or do I have to fix it now? Do I need to fix it now? Does Mommy need to fix it? Mommy does need to fix it. Okay. Oh, you got it all full of grass and stuff? How'd you do that? Hold on, I'm not done. I'm not done. You gotta wait. Oh, come on. Get up in here. There you go. How's that? You're not cold no more? Oop. Okay. Pupper's bed has been fixed. I feel like this overshirt's on inside out, but it's not. I don't think it is. No, because this one has the hood, so... See what it is? This shirt has like extra stitching on it on the back. And sometimes when the stitching touches me, it freaks me out. Sometimes. So, I guess that's why I'm like, oh, this is weird. Okay. Alright. Sorry about that. Doggo has a couple of pillows in his dog bed with some blankets wrapped around them and then a blanket to get under. And he like somehow got the one old sweatshirt or whatever that was wrapped around the one pillow pulled off of it somehow. I don't know what he did. But we've got him trained now where if we're like, do you want us to fix it? If he actually does, he'll get up. And he did, so I'm like, okay. And then his little tail was so happy when I was fixing it. I got it situated and he crawled back under the one blanket. That's okay. Give it 10 minutes and he'll be digging it apart again. More than likely. Because he's Mozos. And he is the PvPer of beds. Disruptor of blanket layout. And keeper of doggy chaos. For he is a doggy ninja. He knows how to move silently through the house. And at speed, so he's not noticed. I swear, he needs a friggin' cat bell on him. He's so quiet. When he moves around. He'll be into stuff and I won't even have heard him get up. I'm like, what did you do? Like, we'll find stuff that we know we put in the trash in his dog bed. I'm like, where did this come from? The one day I was fixing his blankets and I found a wrapper from a stick of butter that we had put in the trash in the kitchen. I'm like, buddy, how did this get in your dog bed? And he's like doing the guilty side eye. I don't know. I don't know where that came from. We used to keep our, like, we had a bulk container of vegetable oil that we would keep on the floor next to our pantry. Except we figured out that every time we used the oil container and sat it back down, you know, there'd always be like a tiny little drip that came down the side of the container or whatever. And Momo figured it out. And this dog has a thing for butter and oil. I don't know what it is. And he would just walk up and start licking the side of the oil container. I'm like, what are you doing? I'm like, stop that. Like, really, buddy? We've tried to, like, mix rice in with his dog food at times to try to get him to eat it, like just plain rice. He won't eat it. Zuzu will. But Momo wouldn't. Until I put a little piece of butter in it. Like the smallest bits of butter. It's like, really? It's like, you're so bad. He's a crazy one. Alright, so we've got this bit of mist here, and then we've got one more bit of tree to put into here. So I'm just trying to get everything tapped in around here, just to try to keep us from getting a little too bumpy. Sometimes it helps, sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes if the fiber is just like too thick in that area, it's just gonna be a little crevicey. It's not too bad. That might be a little thick. Let's try to go a little bit smaller. See how that does us here. I wish there was more of like head-on shots on this season. For some reason there didn't seem to be. So we have another just little, not a huge amount. We do have a few that we need to pop into here. So these guys I'm gonna try to do a little bit thicker. So they're a little bit closer. And they don't have quite as much between them and us. Okay. So yeah, I think if we do attempt to do the frame out of clay, which is sounding like a better option, honestly, we can clean up that edge and we can custom do the size of it. Don't have to worry about it fitting into a standard frame. I just hope my clay's still good. I haven't touched it in a little while. It probably is. I'll have to get the clay stuff out. The heck? Was that your phone? Is that your
possible spam.
Okay, I didn't know if I had to mute. I didn't know who was calling. Okay, never mind. Alright. Question then becomes, do we want to do just like something that looks like a standard frame? Or do we want to paint the frame as sort of an extension of the picture. Because that's also a possibility that we could do. Okay. Yeah, see, so if I flip this over, it's like really kind of domed in there. Kind of crazy. Alright. So let's get a little bit more fluff and stuff. All fluffed up. Now whenever we do finish this piece, we'll end up doing another planning stream before we jump into the next one. Because that did work out a bit better. Yeah, I'm not liking it on that side. Because it doesn't want to sit flat at all. At least doing it this side with the little domey curved section facing up. We can get a little bit of a flatter surface going here. So we'll end up putting this in. And then we'll do one last little bit of grassy stuff coming up along the bottom here. And we'll see how that goes. Looking too bad. So don't forget, if you've missed any parts of any of the live streams, doesn't have to be necessarily this one, but any of them. Most of them can be found over on the YouTube channel. Painting has its own playlist. Needle felting has its own playlist. And the rest of the stuff is kind of broken down by what we were doing. So Coral Island will have its own shadoodle, and so will Planet Zoo. Planet Zoo has a few different playlists based off of what we were doing. Alright. So we just have a few more trees to go. And I need to find some brown. Probably see if I have the right shade of brown in our roving, since we don't need a whole lot of it. But, you know, we'll see how we do. Alright, let's pop that guy up, because I just realized we haven't done that in a little bit. We probably should. So, as the project keeps walking away across to the table. Alright. So, we'll get this next bit in here. I mean, you can kind of see the tree separations and stuff. Although this one kind of, I wanted to roll as two separate pieces, so if that's what it wants to do. Kind of inclined to let it do that. Alrighty. Somebody's in a hurry. I just heard tires peel out of somewhere. Kind of fascinating. Though I'm not entirely surprised. Sorry, I had a piece of fuzz or a piece of my hair touching. That's why I keep stopping. There it is. It's like stuck on my shirt or something. Very distracting. Just kept tapping me. I'm like, stop it. Alright. We got this one. Tapped into here. And then we're going to come back with a bit more of our yellow ochre color here. They're calling it mustard from a Big Twist value, but it's essentially like, it's a little lighter. It's a little more on the yellow side of yellow ochre, but instead of like on more of like the green side. Or gray side. So I just kind of want to hit up the bottoms here just a little bit. Doesn't have to be fully perfect. But just a little bit of something there. I know it would probably just be easier just to leave a little bit of, you know, a gap, but then when we're coming back and doing it this way, there is a little bit of that darker gray shining through there at the bottom. So it does kind of look a little bit like it grew up over it, kinda. Or, you know, you do yours if you're doing the same thing, however you want. Alrighty. So next guy in place here. We are getting closer, slowly, to the end of this one, but I don't know. I think we still probably have this one's been a lot of layers and a lot going on. This one, I don't know. I'm thinking probably two and a half more sessions, maybe three more full sessions on this guy. Kind of depends on like how long it takes to fill a lot of this stuff in. So I mean we are getting closer, but we're not super close yet. Even though we've only got about 10 minutes left in the tutorial, I've really got to see what he does on this other side. Because I think I'm going to have to change a couple of things. On that side. Now, to get the hole cut for the frame, I'm probably going to have to take a piece of paper and try to make a template here. Or we can grab that piece of glass and I can see where everything needs to be lined up. Because the frame's going to be a little bit bigger. Like, not tremendously bigger, but a little bit. So I might be cutting off just a little bit of this so it'll sit in there. Now I just have to figure out how I'm going to attach it to the frame. That I don't know. That I still have to kind of figure out. I may just have to end up gluing it in. Like hot glue or something. Alright, so I do have to pay attention to my tree height here. Can't really forget about that too much. Or at least I don't want to forget about that too much. Alright, just trying to make sure we've got everybody tapped in here. I don't want anybody escaping on us, because that would be a bit problematic. Just a wee bit. Alright, so I'm going to take a little bit more of our yellowy color here. Just kind of work on filling in that bottom edge there. Now, it doesn't have to be super straight, but do what you can. I mean, we all know that the fiber is going to do what it wants to do. Alright. So yeah, that's not too bad, and it did fill in pretty good there, and it is pushing these guys back a little bit. That was weird. It was like a weird, like, faint rumbling noise. Ah, it was probably that semi just went by. The trailer sounds empty. All of the traffics. All of the traffics ever. Feeling like my trees are crooked, and they probably are a little bit. Actually, we took that up a little bit higher than we should have. Okay. Got that. And we'll get this guy. Well, this is just the way they seem to want to go in. Doesn't seem like I'm getting much say in the matter. To be perfectly honest, I do want to try to flatten out this area here, though. That might be part of what's happening. Come on. There we go. Didn't want to cut. Those snips get like that sometimes. Now, they were the scissors, or snippy-doos, whatever you want to call them, that came with the toolkit that I bought. Sometimes they do pretty good, and other times they feel like safety scissors and won't cut anything. I guess it just depends on the tension that I've got on the item. Maybe? I don't know. Either that or only one specific area on those snips is sharp. I'm not real sure. Sorry, this is helping keep everything else a little bit flatter as we are adding this in here. So tomorrow I need to shampoo a rug. Only one rug though. I'm not doing everything. I tried to do some spot scrubbing on it yesterday. Kinda did something. It's not quite as bad, but it still just looks dirty, so we'll see how that goes. Again, just making sure everybody's attached, and I was going over some areas that we hadn't put anything in recently, just to kind of re-tack it down to make it a little bit flatter, to add in this stuff, our remaining little tree guys here. And we'll see what we can do with that. The sun is out today, so that's something. We're mostly out. A lot of traffic out today as well. Seems like a busy Monday around here. People off doing their Monday things. Let go. Alright, so member or height. Oh, come back. I wanted to let go of it, but I wanted to place it somewhere. I didn't want to just fling it. Don't fling the sharp, pointy things. I'm looking at you, hand. We don't fling the sharp, pointy things. It's not the thing we want to randomly drop. Okay. I wish Twitch would tell us, like, it tells us when we get a follower. I wish it would tell us who unfollowed us, just so I know. Probably the only way to really know is to print out lists and then compare them and see who dropped the follow. So I never know if it was like a bot that got banned that had followed. I'm just curious. That's all. Like I've said before, I'm nosy. I'm sure I could do the printout, but I think we can only print that out like every so often, I think. Or have it emailed to us every so often. Or I could just, you know, take screenshots if I really cared, but that's way too much work. If I'm being perfectly honest. Alright. Pop that guy up. We're almost done this spot. Alright. Get a little bit more tree action here. It doesn't look too bad. Looks more like snowfall on the ground in between the trees than clouds to me though, but that's okay. That was a heavy trailer. There's like some kind of dip or bump in the road, kind of in front of our house. So whenever anybody drives a trailer over it, especially if it's an empty trailer, so much noise. All of the rattling, clanging, banging. You name it. Alright, so maybe 1, 2 more. I don't know if I can get 3 in there. We might be able to get 3. After I said that, I'm like, kind of depends on, you go in there for right now. Kind of depends on how thick these guys are. Although 2 might be enough. I don't know. Maybe we'll go 3 anyway. Alright. So, we'll do this in here. Yeah, that's probably the better way to go there. Alright. So we got that in there. So we'll close that color. I'll hang that back up for now. Grab a bit more of our yellow color here. And we're not completely done with this yellow color yet. It is going to come back into play a little bit, I think, if I'm remembering correctly. Now I just want to get this tapped into here. Get our little bit of yellowy grass here. Kind of worked into there. Now he has a little bit of the mist there along this bottom section. I don't know. Do we need it? Should we? Can we pull it off? I mean, it does look a little naked. Without something. I don't know if this is going to come back to haunt me. But we'll see. We will see. Hopefully not. All right. I don't know. Oh, right. I still had some over here. That might be okay. Maybe. I don't know. I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm trying. We'll see. Very hard to convey the misty things. Sometimes. Like, I don't want to get too carried away and make it too thick either, so, you know, we gotta be careful with that. I mean, we don't want it too solid. As it is, we're kind of walking a very delicate line of too much and not enough. Kinda. So definitely like a less is more situation until you get it figured out how thick you want to be in here. But I mean, it's not too bad. Okay, so just a little bit more. But we are way up there. There we go. Alright, there goes that dog again. He was just so excited about his car rides. Scares Russell and I half to death every time. This color back up just so it's out of our way, so we don't lose any of it. Okay, so now I need to find a dark brown. Okay, so where is... Actually, that'll probably do. I mean, it's a little bit of a reddish brown, but I don't care. It's fine. I'm not gonna agonize over it. We need so little of it, it doesn't really matter. So this is some of the roving that I had picked up. It's like a bag of X number of multicolors that came in like this size. So, like, not enough to do a full one of these in just the roving, but maybe a smaller one, depending on the color that you needed. Okay, so just gonna get a little bit of dirt embankment put in here. Really doesn't need to be very big. And I mean, if you want to try to get it straight, cool. Also, if in trying to do it straight it didn't come out all that straight, as long as you're not like down to here, you know, it can be a little wobbly. I mean, it is on a body of water, so in theory there would be a little bit of bank erosion over time and stuff, so I don't have a whole lot of pressure on this. Just a little bit, just to keep it all from pulling in together in one go here. Actually, I probably shouldn't have put that white away just yet because we're gonna need it here. Back again in just a minute. All right, now just making sure that we are tacked down. That's really all I needed from that for right now. So I was saying I don't think the color is really gonna matter all that much, so as long as it's brownish. I don't know if I'm gonna need that color again, so I'm gonna put that off to the side. Okay. Alright, so that is a stiff section there. A lot of fiber. Okay, now, forgot I do need the white back here for just a minute. Because we have to do our water lines. We haven't done the water lines back in here yet. Because I want to figure out what the deal is with this first before I put them in. But we can work on this one. I don't know how visible this guy is gonna be, because you know, this gray misty watercolor and this white color pretty identical here. So this could just be all for nothing, but we'll know we did try to put it in. Like, I don't really see it in front of me. I mean, maybe you can faintly pick it up in the camera. Those colors are really close to each other though, so I mean, you can just barely faintly make it out. Oh, Bob, we tried. We tried, Bob. Maybe my water shade selection choice wasn't the best, but I only have so many shades of gray, and your color selection on this one was just a hot mess for me, so. Alright, now we are, oh, I'm stuck in my shirt. Okay. We are going to advance the tutorial a little bit. Okay, so I think this is where he's putting in the water lines, actually. Yeah. So he's got a couple coming in there. I mean, I can add a few more here and there if I need to. But they're not really gonna show. I mean, it's faintly there in the camera, but in person it's not really there. So I don't know, we might try to add something a little more, but I don't want to overdo it on that either. Okay, so what sheet is this? Can we get a close-up of this, please? Alright. So he's got, this one is more of like a brown. Okay, so this is what he's got happening over here. So like when this Van Dyke brown and white get together, it turns this weird like gray brown. So we might just continue with this shade over here. Alright, and then he does some more of the, so kind of like what we did over here, but in a much smaller section. Alright, so he's gonna undo some of this in a second. So yeah, he had some of the ochre in there flicked up with like the misty things like we did over here. And he puts the reflection in here, but he also takes it away in a second. Because I need to see what he does next. Now I'm omitting the reflections with this because it's not gonna like be faded and look watery because of the nature of the medium. So it wouldn't get that blurry, watery look, the glassy surface. So all that he just put in, right? He just like KO'd a third of it. That's our pretty big chunk here. Okay, so the only thing I really need to do to adjust this is maybe bring it out just a little bit. Just a little bit. I mean, we could take some more of the watercolor and like even up this side here, but I think it's okay. Okay, so then he kind of did some shading on that, and then he puts like this big ash tree in. was bigger than that, I thought. Was it not? Oh, he's going all the way. Pretty sure it was... Okay, so he's kind of going back and thickening it up a little bit. And then... Okay, he added a second sticker, second arm, second trunk, second TV antenna, alien bug antennas, I mean... A taxidermy deer head getting revenge. Whatever you really want it to be. He's just going to town on this tree, isn't he? What else does he do to this thing? I'm skipping ahead a little bit. What color is that? Like, I don't even know. It kind of looks like this color that we put into here. Kinda. Kinda, sorta. Oh, Bob. Not been a fan of this one. So, wait, what did you do? We can't see from this angle, sir. Thank you. So then yellow ochre back on top of the weird reddish brown? Okay. Oh, and he did grassy things and stuff. Just a few colors. Bob, that was actually more than a few colors. I'm just saying. Because you blended. Did they not even... They couldn't even zoom out to get the whole thing in there. No. We're not on episode 6. We're still on episode 5. Except now we've got ads that we're showing. Great. Alright, where the hell were we? We were... You go away. I refuse to pay for YouTube. And there's a free version available that works just fine. Alright, so... He's gonna start doing... Actually, we should probably... At least... Okay, so... Alrighty, I'm kinda gonna do that base ground color, I guess, that we did over here. Just, you know, a real quick tap in, just so we kind of have an idea of where our color needs to be. So this one's been quite the adventure, I will say. definitely not one of the ones I've been a fan of. I mean, it's alright. And painting it's probably different. But this has definitely been one of the more challenging ones. From this side of things. So are we even in the frame? We're kind of in the frame. Alright, so let me snip-a-doo. And we'll just kind of work on getting that all tapped into there. Alright, pop that guy up. Okay, so yeah, we'll even him up. He'll look great. He'll look great. He'll be fine. Alright. So we'll get this round of land tapped into here. I do realize I'm doing this bit of land backwards. So it was probably more like here. Right where it's sticking out. So if we do this, that didn't sound good. What the heck was that? Oh, it was a dump truck. I thought I had stopped in front of the house. But it was just slowing down because, you know, four-way stop at the end of our street. And people go faster than 35 down here. Even the ones that know there's a four-way stop right at the end of the street. Okay, so Actually, if we do it like this. Doesn't have to be super filled in here, but just filled in enough. Where we can get this kind of covered in, because I mean we're gonna have the trees kind of sitting out this way, and this is gonna extend a little bit further than this section here. So again, I'm just doing this real rough in here, because it's gonna get more layers on top of it. I just want this section covered up a bit. I mean, we could have just jumped in with the yellow to begin with. But didn't really feel right for the yellow from the very start. I feel like that's definitely going to be better as an add-in. Color over here. So like I said, this doesn't have to be tremendously on point over here. It can be a little uneven, it can be a little thin, we can have some splits with the bottom color showing through, that's fine. I just don't want it completely naked, if you will, over here. Get a bit of color down. Just some sort of base to work with, so, you know, if any of our trees have a bit of a break on them, then we're okay. Alright, let me snip that. Okay, that should be good enough for right now. So here's the thing, do I want, I think we need a little bit of mist all up in here, so that's not really fully attached in there. I mean, it's attached enough for right now. Question is, how high do I want to take this set? Right, so starting like in here. Maybe about there. Potentially. It doesn't look like too bad of a height. Because these guys are tall, but they're not as tall. Okay. And then this next bit in here. Do I need to get him?
No, I don't.
I wasn't sure what you were doing. Alright. So I might take the mist down a little bit further. Maybe. We'll see. Yeah. I'm trying to figure out how far over I want to take this, because he started out kind of like not that many there. Like this was actually a really steep hill for him. And this part, our hill is not quite that steep. Like his was like almost not exactly sheer, but it was pretty steep. Ours wasn't quite so steep. And that's okay. It doesn't have to be as steep. You okay?
Mm-hmm.
All right. But I should probably at least start working this down a little bit in height. Because like this in here isn't gonna matter in a few minutes. Because it's gonna get covered up, or maybe next week because I'm looking at the time. Let go. It's gonna get covered up with the other bit of tree stuff here. So it technically might not matter that much. But we need it to, if I can grab it, it wouldn't let go of me and now I can't grab it. Alrighty. So that might be good enough, like wispy, foggy, cloud-wise, because, you know, then we'll start to come down into here, and then we can start to, you know, figure out how tall we want these, maybe from here ish or something, and then we'll start throwing in our yellow and stuff. Or we could, you know, make them like this tall. We could take the bottoms like down to around in here. Like, we could take the bottoms to about here, in which case I do need a little bit more misty stuffs, I think. Probably wouldn't be a bad idea. Get that just worked into there, and if I mean we covered up, but at least it's there if I need it. Maybe one more little poof around in here. Alright, that's pretty good in there. So that'll be our misty separation around the trees. So I think we're actually at a good pausing point. Don't really want to get involved in the next bit when we're going to be stopping so soon. So I'm sorry I had to change the stream start time. We're going to see how the 2 p.m. start time works out. I know I started at 1 today, or 1-ish, but I was just sitting here, so I was like, might as well start a little bit early. But that's what the new start time is going to be, is 2 Central-ish. We'll see if I can maintain that. So yeah, so thank you guys for hanging out with me. And that's gonna do it for today. I will be back on Thursday. We'll be back into Coral Island and working on getting some stuff planted in the greenhouse and trying to get some more sprinklers sorted for winter's over, because we're gonna have a lot of spring planting to do, and that's for sure. And trying to get all of that fun stuff sorted out. Don't forget to follow all the socially things down below. And until next time, guys, have a good week, and I hope to see you on Thursday.